Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Troutman Family Presents. I'm Joe.
I'm Orion.
So Orion, who do we have today?
We have the Autobot Slingshot from the new Age of the Primes line, and he is continuing the new combiner. And would you like to say the name?
Superion, made up out of the aerial bots.
Yep, so he's the next aerial bot.
So before we talk about the box, talking about the character of Slingshot, he actually did get a bit of personality in the G1 series. So according to his file card, he was a loudmouth and a braggart, and he was kind of obnoxious. But they said he was maybe a little self-conscious about him being the smallest of the aerial bots. And in the cartoons, he was one of the ones that really admired the Decepticon jets and the Decepticon cause. And that's what led the whole Wardon series, when they went back in time, to see how cool they were or whatever, and ended up not being so cool. And then there was another episode where he had a big part where they were out in the desert and he got his chest removed because someone was stealing planes and selling off the parts, and they ended up replacing his chest with a Rolls-Royce front end. So anyways, that was just some stuff that stood out to me that I really liked. Again, he got a little bit more personality than a lot of the combiner limbs did back in the day. Now, let's go over to the box. Orion, do you have any thoughts?
So in the box, he looks pretty neat. He definitely looks similar to Air Raid. And we can put pictures up, or I can just put them on the table.
Oh, we'll grab Air Raid in a little bit after we get him out.
Okay. But yeah, in the box, he looks pretty good. And on the side, there is, how do I forget the names that quick?
What is it? That's Superion.
Yeah, Superion.
The art is really good on these.
So on the back, it shows him in his robot mode and alt mode. And it says 17 steps, so I don't think it'll be too hard. And then here's the primes.
All right. So, me looking at it, he looks like Slingshot. So we're gonna go ahead and get him out of the box, and we will be right back. Okay, we have got Slingshot out of the box. He does come with these two little blasters, and I think these are reminiscent of the G1, if I recall. It's been so long since I've had the aerial bots with their individual guns out. So, Ryan, what are your first thoughts on Slingshot?
So, first thoughts, he didn't look too good at the start, but once I really looked at him, he was actually pretty cool. And something I noticed is, look at this. So, there's some things, so I could tell that it would go out. And look at that, landing gear. Pretty cool.
Here, just so people can see it, because they can't see it when you're looking at it. Okay, so in the back of his head, he does have landing gear that comes out, and we didn't see that with Air Raid. So do you have any more thoughts on him, Ryan, before I talk about it a little bit?
When I looked at the feet, I thought they weren't that good, but then I realized, they're actually pretty good because they make them a lot more stable. So if you have a transformer that won't stand up, this one you might like a lot more.
So cool. So my thoughts on him, I think he could use a little bit more paint in robot mode. He looks very plain Jane. I mean, it doesn't look, there's no Autobot symbol on him. There's no real paint. The guns do look good. We'll get those in his hands. And boy, they are a tight fit. Yeah, he does have all the articulation that every one of them's got, in the knees and everything. He does have the tail in the back that folds up, so you do get extra stability in the feet. But yeah, he looks like Slingshot. And first, what we'll do is we will show him next to. Here he is next to his G1 counterpart. And yeah, if you're looking for kind of the plain Jane, he definitely it's got the the plainness going on. Boy, plain, and he's a plane.
Yeah.
I just got that. I didn't do that on purpose.
It's a plain plane.
Yeah. And here he is next to Combiner Wars. And this Combiner Wars, he's pretty loose, especially in the hips here. But I mean, you can see this guy's got definitely a lot more going on as far as the paint and the details in robot mode. So, so out of the three, I think in robot mode, the Combiner War Slingshot definitely looks the best. He's just got a lot more paint detail in the eyes and in the chest and everything. I think that this guy here is probably going to really shine in Superion, but we still have a little ways to go on that. So, and to compare him to his wave mate, here he is with Air Raid. And these guys are both the same wave, but yeah, the Air Raid does have a little bit more going on as far as the detail work in the paint, at least in robot mode. So, yeah. Orion, do you have anything else to add?
No, I don't have anything else to add.
Okay, we're gonna get them into plane mode, and then we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So Orion did this one, and Orion, what were your thoughts on the engineering?
So before I get into that, yes, I didn't use instructions because it wasn't too hard. So I forget, what was the question?
Oh, did you like the transformation? Was it fun?
Yes, it was pretty fun. And also something I noticed is that this can go down, and I believe it's supposed to do that because like cargo can go like in and out, and that's pretty cool. And then there is the other part of the landing gear right there. And then you can just put it down, and it looks pretty good. So yeah, the transformation was pretty fun.
Okay. He does look a bit different than Air Raid, so he's not the same generic transformation, right?
Yeah.
So that's cool. I like that when it keeps them all a little bit more interesting.
It's similar, but not too similar. Yeah. Like, it has similarities, but it's not like so similar.
Mm-hmm. So what are your thoughts on the way that it looks?
I think it looks pretty good, but one thing that is still something I like is that it looks like a spaceship, but like I think spaceships are still pretty cool. And like the appearance, it's pretty clean, and also on the bottom, it's also pretty clean, and it doesn't have like a ton of like undercarriage.
Yeah, the kibble.
Yeah.
So you do see a lot more detail here and a little bit more paint with the stripes on the wing and also on the tail fin. He does have this big old cockpit that kind of reminds me, I could see maybe this being used for blast off a little bit when they do the Combaticons. His arms do kind of twist around and fold up, which is nice. So he does have some different engineering than Air Raid. So yeah, he's nice. I do like him a little bit better. Actually, let's bring out Air Raid now so we can compare. So here he is with Air Raid, and yeah, you can see he is a little bit longer from head to tail, a little bit. Air Raid looks more like a fighter jet, and I don't know exactly what this guy. He does look a little bit more spacey.
Wait, I think this one is a bit longer.
No, I think Slingshot is. Well, because you got the tails. But if you went from I guess with the tails, it's about the same.
Yeah.
But see how this has got the tails coming out? So that'll put it about the same length.
Air Raid's like a 2/5 or 3/5. Like somewhere in the middle of 2/5 and 3/5 of a inch and like 0.5 centimeter.
So what I like a lot about Slingshot. The one thing that I really didn't like with Air Raid is his feet. It just made him really thick. And this one here is definitely more streamlined. So I like that a lot more. How how he doesn't have those extra chunks hanging out. So it does make him a little bit lower to the ground because of that. But he's got the landing gear, and Air Raid just sits so high because of all the feet underneath. So yeah, so they both have some pros to them. They both have some cons. I would like to compare him to the other guys. So here he is with the Combiner Wars. So this is Combiner Wars Slingshot. This is like 2015, 2016. Oops. Well, there we go. Get my fingers out of the way. And here he is with G1. And yeah, I think they did a good job with him. Orion, out of the three, which one did you like best?
For appearances, it's a battle between these two. But for this one's age, I'd say that one. But like right now, it's hard. But I think it has to be this one.
So I don't know if it's because I grew up with this one, but these look so much cleaner, and I know they don't do nearly as much, especially in robot mode. But I like my G1 on my aerial bots, especially on the plane modes. Again, it's just because they do look a lot cleaner. But between these two, they both have some pros and cons. I think I like the wings on this one better. I think they look more like the toy. But this one here overall is a jet, the new one. I think it does a little bit better job. Again, just being a sleeker look. So if they have this one's wings over here, I'd probably like it. But this one here is probably, I think the new ones look a lot more cartoon accurate. So
yeah,
because the cartoons were more simplified, and I think this would fit the cartoon pretty well, flying around on the G1 cartoon.
Yeah, because look at the cockpit, and like the front, it looks a lot similar. So if we're going for G1, definitely this. If we're going for more realistic, then definitely this.
Yeah. So awesome. Well, Orion, is there anything that you'd like to add before we wrap up?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. So yeah, this is Age of the Prime Slingshot, and thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment and share. And we look forward to seeing you guys next time. I am Joe.
And I'm Orion.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
Bye.